This is everything. I love this beer so much. I'm gonna chug it right now on camera. Let's do it. What is up? Today we're drinking Whompin Bear. This is a brand new IPA collab from Segundo Brewing and Pizza Port Brewing in San Diego. These guys collab on a special beer once a year. Typically that's known as Surfin' Bird, but this year they're switching it up a little bit. This one's Whompin Bear, very similar theme. And man, I could not be more excited as a West Coast IPA fanatic. Segundo and Pizza Port are arguably two of the best West Coast IPA producers on the West Coast, if not anywhere. So I'm very excited to crack open this beer and check it out. So very fun label here with the kind of cartoon Surfin' Bear, and you get a little peek of the Surfin' Bird there in the background. So a little homage to the heritage of this collab series. Let's see what we got on the can here. Bitchin' New School meets Old School West Coast IPA. So that has me intrigued. I'm very much a fan of the old school, but also find myself drinking a lot of new school West Coast IPA these days. So I'm very intrigued to see where this beer kind of defines that hybrid style. And then this beer features a wave of Strata and New Zealand Cascade hops that's easy to ride. So anyone that's been watching my videos over the past year knows that Strata is by far my favorite hop variety. And New Zealand Cascade, let's see what that brings to the table. I'm very familiar, and as well as you are, with Pacific Northwest Cascade and its legacy in the West Coast style IPA. But let's see what New Zealand Cascade brings to the table. So let's crack this baby open, shall we? So right away, you're noticing a very light colored body here. And this is probably a little bit foamy of a pour here, so I could do better. But right away, you're seeing kind of a little bit of what they're alluding to in terms of the new school West Coast. This is a new school West Coast IPA color, very much so. Lighter body, yeah, very little reliance on pale and crystal malts that old school West Coast IPAs typically relied on. Beer is not crystal clear. You get kind of just like a slight film on it. It's not a brilliant white head. It's like almost like pearl white head on that. Maybe it's just the sunlight here, but you know, slightly off white, just a shade, just a tad. Right now I was pouring this beer, I was getting a ton of aroma hitting me in the face. So let's dig into that and see what's going on. Yeah, extremely massive aroma on this beer, and it's really delicious. Again, new school West Coast IPA nose on this. So that Strata is bringing through a lot of bright strawberry. I'm very sensitive to strawberry in Strata hops, and this is coming through in spades. Lovely. I would love this. It's a little touch of earthy dankness, not over the top. Yeah, and you're getting really light, sweet grapefruit. So not like that bitter, kind of high acid grapefruit. You're getting kind of like more of a sweeter grapefruit, and almost like a sweeter orange too. Yeah, I really like the combo of that like sweet citrus and sweet strawberry. This definitely has a sweeter nose on it than a lot of West Coast IPAs. So again, I think they're leaning into that new school West Coast IPA presence here on the aroma. Let's see what it tastes like. I cannot wait. Delicious. This is very much a new school style West Coast IPA. I'm not seeing much of the old school influence on this beer. Maybe a little bit on the bitterness. Like there's a significant bitterness on it that matches up really well with that bright, sweet tropical fruit. Tropical in the sense that like there's pineapple, there's grapefruit orange like I was putting there on the nose, and then again that strawberry really comes through strong for me, which I love. I really love that on this beer. Nice light body. Yeah, it just kind of dances on your tongue and slides right down, gets you prepped and ready for the next sip to come. This is a beer that goes down really, really super fast. Perfect for the summertime, the hot weather, the daytime drinking like I'm doing right now. Yeah, touch of earthy dankness on the back end as well that's coming in, most likely from the Strata hops. But I really like what New Zealand Cascade is bringing to the table here. Typically, you're getting bitter citrus. That's what you're getting from the table here. But I think New Zealand also gives a little bit more of like a tropical influence on the flavor profile of Cascade, just because the terroir of the New Zealand area does, you know, those hop varietals tend to have a tropical component. And I think we're getting a little bit more of that on this this Cascade than we do on our traditional Pacific Northwest Cascade. New Zealand Cascade can come through with higher alpha acid, so a little bit more pronounced bitterness on this beer. I wouldn't call this a bitter beer by any means, but there is a solid bitterness. So, I mean, if you're used to West Coast IPAs, this is going to really pull through for you in a way that you really like. Again, you have to be into a little bit of that new school sweetness on the palate here, because that's what this brings to the table. For me, this is everything. I love this beer so much. I'm gonna chug it right now on camera. Let's do it. Delicious, delicious beer. Pick up Whompin Bear from El Segundo and Pizza Port. Cheers.